London, South Africa's Supreme Court of Appeal on Friday more than doubled the sentence imposed by a lower court on Oscar Pistorius, a double amputee Olympic sprinter convicted of killing his girlfriend, Ria Steenkamp, in his home in February 2013. The case, evoking questions about racial fears and violence against women, transfixed South Africa's tangled, post-apartheid society, and a broader international audience. Ms. Steenkamp, 29, was a model and a law graduate, and Mr. Pistorius, now 31, had been an emblem of triumph over adversity after the amputation in his infancy of both legs below the knee. They had been dating for several months and became known as a celebrity couple. After his initial trial in 2014, Mr. Pistorius, sometimes nicknamed Blade Runner for the curved prosthetics on which he runs, was sentenced for manslaughter, but that was later changed on appeal to murder. He was jailed for 6 years in July 2016. Prosecutors said the 6-year term was shockingly lenient, however, and they appealed. The Supreme Court of Appeal increased the sentence on Friday to 15 years, but deducted the time he has already served either in prison or under house arrest, meaning that he faces an outstanding sentence of 13 years and 5 months. The South African law sets 15 years as the recommended minimum for murder, but it can be lower if there are mitigating circumstances. In his defense, Mr. Pistorius argued that he had shot Ms. Steenkamp by accident, firing 4 bullets through a bathroom door in the belief that an intruder had entered his upscale villa in Pretoria. Only when he smashed down the door, he said at his trial, did he discover that he had shot Ms. Steenkamp. Prosecutors said he had killed her in a jealous fury after an argument in the early hours of February 14, 2013. Continue reading the main story. Related coverage. Oscar Pistorius removes his artificial legs at sentencing hearing June 15, 2016. Ria Steenkamp's father says Oscar Pistorius must pay for her murder June 14, 2016. The Fast Life of Oscar Pistorius January 18, 2012. Recent comments. Yellow Rose 1 hour ago. I am glad to see justice served in this case for the Steenkamp family. 6 years was a laughably lenient sentence for such a cold-blooded. Susan 1 hour ago. I cannot believe the glowing comments here. The man was convicted and sentenced. The light sentence was certainly frustrating, but allowing. Caduceus 33 1 hour ago. The original judge was completely unreal. It is unthinkable that Pistorius' claim of an intruder in the bathroom was accepted by anyone, and see all comments. Write a comment. Advertisement. Continue reading the main story. Mr. Pistorius was not in court on Friday to hear the decision on his sentence. Ms. Steenkamp's family said through a spokeswoman that the increased sentence had restored their faith in the judicial system. This is an emotional thing for them. They just feel that their trust in the justice system has been confirmed this morning, the spokeswoman, Tanya Cohn, told Reuters. Thukuziel Matilda Masipa, the High Court judge who presided at Mr. Pistorius's initial trial, sentenced him to 5 years for manslaughter in 2014, but prosecutors challenged the verdict, and it was replaced with a finding of murder. On July 2016, Judge Masipa handed down a 6-year term for murder. She explained her seeming leniency by saying that Mr. Pistorius had shown genuine remorse in trying, albeit without success, to apologize in person to Ms. Steenkamp's family. Many legal analysts had expected a lengthier sentence. I am of the view that a long-term imprisonment will not serve justice, Judge Masipa said at the time. He's a fallen hero who has lost his career and is ruined financially. Ms. Steenkamp died less than a year after the 2012 Olympic Games in London, where Mr. Pistorius carried the South African flag at the closing ceremony. On Friday, a panel of 5 judges ruled that Mr. Pistorius should have been sentenced to the 15-year minimum term. In a written ruling, the judges echoed the prosecutor's assessment that the previous sentence was shockingly lenient to a point where it has the effect of trivializing the serious offense. The ruling said that Mr. Pistorius displays a lack of remorse and does not appreciate the gravity of his actions. It was not clear whether Mr. Pistorius's lawyers planned an appeal to the Constitutional Court, the country's highest tribunal.